Hello everyone and welcome to the live stream. Hello and welcome to the live stream. Please say hi. Please let me know how you're doing. Hello everyone. Lady Shante, you know what, Lady Shante, I was thinking, I wonder if Lady might be here right now. This is the traditional time I used to do my live streams a year ago. And I did wonder if Lady Shante might be available right now. Great to have you in here. How are you? Adea, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Hi from Mexico. Great to have you in here. It's wonderful to have people from around the world. We've got somebody from the US, somebody from Mexico. Great to have you in here. Lady Shante said, I'm doing well. How are you? I'm good, thank you. I'm doing good. Hopefully I'll get a chance to do more streams now that I've completed my course. And hopefully I'll have more time to do streams now. Although I'm still working on the course, I'm still adding things. Just try to always improve it, basically. But it's now been released, so the main thing is that I've got this space where before I was working on the course, and now if I have some free time, I can live stream. So where is everybody else in the world right now? It's great to see. How are you feeling, Adaya? I hope I pronounced that correctly. So AP is here. AP, what's happening, mate? Checking in from Harrow. So we're really spreading it across the world here. We've got somebody from Harrow, not a million miles away from where I am myself. And then we've got Lady Shante in, I'm just trying to remember, is it South Carolina, Lady Shante? It's one of the Carolinas, isn't it? I'm sure. South Carolina or North Carolina. And we've got Ada, is that how you pronounce it? I'm not very familiar with opera, unfortunately. From Mexico. And Inserter. Inserter, say hello, Inserter. Hi, boss, give Lady my love. Well, she's here. She's here. It's great to have you all back. This was a traditional time I used to do live streams a year ago. It's North Carolina, Lady Shante says. Yeah, I remembered it was one of the Carolinas. So Ada has said, I'm listening to you whilst getting ready to go to work. 7:39 a.m. here. Wow. Yes, I'm talking to you from the future. What type of job do you do, Adaya? Is this a type of job which is very physical, or are you in an office-based job? What type of thing are you going to be doing? Insertra said, boss, what's your thoughts on Red Pill? And Inserta is from Malaga, Spain. Are you back in Malaga? I was not aware of that. Look, I mean, the red pill community have their own thoughts on things, and that's fine. Everybody is allowed their own thoughts on things. I like to look at things maybe slightly differently to some red pill thoughts, just in the respect of, I believe, of trying to be, positive whenever possible. And, so I don't know, sometimes I think there's different ways of thinking things, but, they can think what they would like to. Everybody's free to have their own thoughts. AP said, I'm on the treadmill listening to you, bro. Wow, okay, right, get going. Come on. No slacking. Kimchi, hello Kimchi. WFH and listening to Vincent livestream is the best therapy ever. Thank you very much. Come on AP, no slacking now. Oh, it's Kelvin. Hi Kelvin, great to have you in here. Adria said, I'm a notary public from the Roman system. Lawyers who have public faith and make contracts. Wow, that sounds intense. I hope you have a productive day. That sounds very intense. Lady said, Vincent, I wanted to add that I've had so much time to reflect and heal. When my ex left, he started back flirting with the woman he knew before me. I just wish he would have told me his true intent. It would have saved me a lot of grief. Absolutely, that must have been very, very painful when you realised all of this. But ultimately, it's about your journey now, Lady Shante. And your ex was a very negative influence on you. Really brought negativity to you from all angles. So you are better off focusing on yourself and finding an even better connection. Kelvin has said, don't know if you remember me. I remember your name, certainly. As for your specific story, that I can't pull from my memory completely. But certainly I remember Kelvin. I'm sure I only had one Kelvin in my streams. So I remember you, but unfortunately I don't remember exactly your situation. So Ada's saying we're 4,500 in a country of 125 million. Wow, so you're in the elite. There's not many people in that category. And Sertra said it's 2:40 PM in Spain. And Sertra's enjoying the sun, I'm sure. John is here. Hello, John. Great to have you in here. Thanks for great advice, Vincent. I'm so glad you find the advice helpful, John. How are you feeling today? And Sertra said, yes, back in Malaga, been back for over a month. Had to come back for the divorce. Oh, gosh. So not the best reasons to come back. Hopefully you can enjoy the nice weather whilst you're there. Try to take some positive from it. So how is everybody feeling in general? Are you able to stay upbeat even through the most difficult of times? Lady Shante said, Vincent, are you still going through lockdown? We are slowly but surely coming out of lockdown. There's a chance, although it seems to be diminishing, but there is a chance that in a couple of weeks we might be completely out of everything and back to 100% normality. However, that doesn't look like that's going to happen. I think that might be delayed somewhat. How about yourself, Lady Shante? Is everything back to normal in North Carolina? John has said, your no contact is gold, as is your advice to level up and improve to be a better version of yourself. To be more attractive to new partners as well as ex. Feeling great. Oh, wow. I'm really, really grateful, John, that you feel that's helping you. Thank you for your kind words. But it's absolutely true. If we work on ourselves, then we become more attractive people to everybody. So that's our exes, that is new people we might meet for the first time, that is people we might know kind of passively as an acquaintance. All of these people will see us as a more attractive person if we, like you say, if we level up, if we become somebody who is better today than we were yesterday. And we can do the smallest things to improve. The smallest things. I like to use the analogy, if you couldn't tie your shoelaces, and then you learned how to tie your shoelaces, think of that. Think of the difference that would bring to your life. And, some people might say, well, look, that's something you learn when you're 5 years old. But there's going to be people out there who have never been taught, who don't know how to do that. And imagine what big a difference that could make in their life. So if you imagine that in every single section of life, just the smallest things can make the biggest difference. John is from Indiana, USA. Wow, another person from the US. Thank you so much, John. Must be quite early there, I guess. Lady Shante said, yes, things are slowly getting back to normal. Glad to hear that the lockdown is lifting for you. Thanks, Lady Shante. Everything is nearly back to normal, but not quite. There's still a few things which aren't. But it's a lot more like normal life now than it was, say, in January or February. So Kelvin has said, yeah, it's been a year ago and I haven't really looked back since. Okay, wow. So give us an update, Kelvin. How are you feeling now compared to how you was feeling a year ago? Lady Shante said, Vincent, self-improvement really works. I've noticed more attention when I go out now. It's amazing how working out, changing your hairstyle and clothing can cause you to get more attention. Definitely. Self-improvement is on all angles. Mentally, spiritually, physically. All of these things, if we can just tweak and improve, we just become better versions of ourselves. So Adra said, I'm recovering from a 6-year-old relationship on and off. Was at my lowest point when I met him. My career took off faster than his. Broke up with me over the phone in January. No contact since then. Oh gosh, that must have been really, really challenging to go through. How long ago was it that you found my channel? How have you been since January? I'm getting prettier, going to yoga, doing therapy. Still missing him. You absolutely will still miss him. And people can be in relationships from a long, long time ago and still briefly reflect back. So that is something that's always going to come and go. But the important thing is that you start to feel more positive about yourself. And it sounds like that you've got, you're in an elite category in your work from what you have told me. So it sounds like you're the type of person who pushes forward already. So if you keep doing what you're doing, if you reflect that in other areas of your life, you're certainly going to find things easier and easier as time goes on. I found your channel a couple of months ago. Well, I hope it's helped you. I hope you're finding it positive and helpful. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. Apparently YouTube doesn't notify you necessarily now. Even if you subscribe, you have to ring that bell as well. If you don't ring the bell, it sounds like it's random, a bit hit and miss. If they will even notify you, they might notify you of one video, but then not of the next. So ringing the bell for notifications apparently now is very, very important to keep updated. It has helped me, and I'm a subscriber. Well, thank you so much, and thank you to everybody else who's in here today. It's great to be speaking to you right now. I used to do live streams at this time of day about a year ago. It's wonderful to see some usernames from the past still popping in to say hello, and also some new people. Enkidu. Hi there, hey Vincent. I was wondering, when does Dumper Remorse start working if you go immediately no contact after the breakup? So the way I like to describe it is that Dumper's Remorse is only going to happen when one of two possible things take place. So one is that they reflect on their life not going as well as they would have hoped. Now that is unlikely to happen straight away, because they need to live some life before they can realise it's not going to plan. And most people, when they become single, do not automatically jump into a permanent feeling of a wonderful life. At first, they'll go through the honeymoon period of being single. That can seem very exciting, but after a few months normally, that starts to wane. And unless they find the next love of their life, which is very unlikely in the early months after a breakup, then they will reflect. So reflecting is a chance of when a dumper will feel remorse. And secondly, is when there is a trigger, such as hearing a song which reminds them of you, watching a movie, going to a location. All of these things which affect you will also affect them. So that is in essence when Dumper's remorse is likely to take place. But if we are to consider those things I've mentioned and say they are ignition, we need a fuel, and the fuel is romantic emotional attraction. So if your ex is feeling a high level of romantic emotional attraction for you, and then they receive an ignition, that is when it will combust in their mind and they will reach out to you. Now the trick is trying to grow that level of romantic emotional attraction, because if they dumped you, then unfortunately it was very low at the level of at the time of the breakup, and it must grow once more. Inserter said, boss, how can you tell how attractive you are to the opposite sex? I mean, for a start, everybody is different. So even though you could say that most men are attracted to femininity and most women are attracted to masculinity, that is not always the case. And even when it is the case, there are different degrees. So you can never specifically say I'm attractive to all of one type of person. All you can do is do key things which are generally more attractive in a generalised sense, and then you can tweak things depending on the specific person or people you're trying to attract. And the way you can see if you're attracted to the opposite sex or to, whoever you want to attract is basically by how people are reacting to you, in essence. Calvin has said, I think the most important thing is your mentality and how you perceive things. Happiness comes from within, and it's important that you are happy with yourself and don't depend too much on others. That's really, really great advice, Calvin. Really, really great advice. Would you say, Calvin, that you feel better than you did a year ago? Or would you say you feel about the same as a year ago? Or would you say that you feel worse now than a year ago? How would you say it has evolved over the course of a year? And the same goes to Lady Shante, because Lady Shante was somebody who was in my streams a year ago as well. Adria said he has not contacted me since January, but to wish me a happy birthday on April. Someone told me, he said, I was married already as a joke. Okay, so your ex reached out to you for a happy birthday in April. I mean, that's positive. Like, he doesn't have to do that. The way I would see that is that there may have been a possibility to try to grow something from that interaction. But whether you tried and it didn't work, or whether you decided not to, I mean, we can't go back to the past. There's no point in looking back and thinking I should have done things differently. But I would have thought there was an opportunity there. Lady Shante said, Vincent, I would say that I feel better than I did a year ago. I still have those moments of grief and confusion, but I feel much better than I did last year. That's really, really good to hear. Really good. And Kido said, not going to lie, it's been over 3 weeks of breakup. I went immediately no contact. Now I'm feeling good about myself, and my anxiety and pain starts to decrease gradually. Wow, that is really impressive after 3 weeks. You know, you're doing better than average there. That's really, really good. Adria said, I just thanked him but didn't start a conversation. Okay, so, as I said, this isn't the time to think, oh, I should have done this and feel bad about yourself. Because the past is the past, okay? But what I would say is that if I've been in your position there, I would have tried to grow a conversation from that. Now, that shouldn't be the defining moment in your situation, but that's just what I would have considered doing. I thanked him very politely, but mirroring his level since then. So what I would have done was to thank him like you did, but I would also have tagged on a question. But again, you know, this was in April, we're now in June. Let's not look to the past with regret, we're moving forward. And nothing works 100% of the time. You know, just as nothing fails 100% of the time. But that is just something I would have tweaked. Kelvin has said, oh, I feel a lot better. I feel so stupid when I think about the past. Self-improvement definitely helps. I mean, there's no need to feel stupid, you know. We're all human beings. We all go through these emotions and everything. So please don't feel that. But I'm so glad to hear you're feeling better. So for those of you in here, we've got Kelvin and we've got Lady Shante, who used to be in my live streams a year ago, and both of them have said that they feel better now than a year ago. So it shows that whatever position you're in right now, you can find fulfillment and you can feel positivity if you keep moving forward and doing the right thing. That's absolutely the way to go. Sean, I say hello, Sean. Hey, V. I went through a long distance breakup a year ago. I was in Los Angeles and she moved to New York City. Went to NC, does that mean North Carolina or is that New York City? For 3 months and broke it. Got breadcrumbs, so I went went no contact for 3 months and broke it. I got breadcrumbs, so I went no contact again. Now I'm in New York City, should I reach out? That is a very good question and something I've been asked before. Again, there's no definitive answer on these things, but you can certainly say will always work or will always fail. But in general terms, from the research I've done in a similar topic, is that if you're long distance and your relationship ends and then you move to that area and contact your ex, more often than not, they sadly find it a little creepy. Now, that's not always the case. I'm not telling you to not do it, because in your instance, who knows, it might work. But because I don't know the intricacies of what happened in your breakup. Maybe your ex was constantly wanting you there and you never was, for instance. However, from the research that I've done, when people have moved to the area where their long distance ex lives and then contact them, the general response is negative. It's either no response at all, or it's a message back saying something like, oh, are you following me now? Or, you know, are you stalking me now? Or it's not often, from what I've seen, positive. Now, if you receive contact from your ex, that's different. Then you can certainly mention it and you can say, look, guess where I am? But I can't really suggest reaching out because I don't know for certain how it would go for you. Lady Shanti said, Vincent, I've taken accountability for certain things such as neediness and codependency in the last relationship. I now realise new traits I want to bring to a relationship. That's wonderful. That's so good to hear, Lady Shanti. And Sertra said, I've accepted it now, but I am a lot of mixed emotions. Yes, getting better slowly. And Sertra has gone through a very tough time, but making great progress himself. Keep going, Inserter. Lady said, Vincent, I was going through a lot with my ex and also had a bit of family drama at the time. And I can see how that may have been a lot for him to handle. He was treating you bad as well, though, Lady Shanta. You know, let's not let him off the hook completely here. I have to allow myself time to get to know the next person before I give them details on my life. I was really transparent with my ex because we were engaged. That's understandable. As Shauna said, we are both from New York City. Okay. Like I said, it's a tough one to say. I mean, in general terms, and this is generalising somewhat, But my belief is that if you have been dumped, you should never contact your ex again unless they contact you first. That is the general, if you're like in doubt of what to do, that is always the general marker of what I would suggest. If you do want more support on these type of things, I have recently released my Breakup recovery course online that has reading elements, listening elements, quiz elements, the chance to join live lessons, the chance to have coursework. It will help you with texting tips, texting examples of responses and what you might receive. Everything from recovery, meeting somebody new, trying to get your ex back, whether or not you're a dumper or a dumpee, online dating advice, everything's packed into this course. I've been working on it for over 7 months, and I've just posted the link into the description if you want to check it out. The feedback so far has been really, really good for the few people who have already joined up. It could be something that you find helpful. If you do, please check it out. Inserter said, boss, have you learnt anything making the course? I mean, what I've learned is don't rush making a course. Originally, I wanted to get this course out for Valentine's Day because I realised that there was going to be a lot of people that needed support around them. But what I realised was if you spread out your time, you can think of more additional things. And I thought of so much extra to put in the course. That's the great thing about it. So what I've learned is don't set yourself if you're making a course and whatever you're doing, don't set yourself a deadline. Because I'm glad I didn't in the end. I'm glad I just let it carry on. Because I'd think, okay, this is probably complete. And then I'd go away for a while and think, oh no, I can add this. And it's a much better course now than it would have been if I'd released it back in February. So I'm glad with that, and that is for anybody who wants to make a course on any subject. Give yourself time. Inserter said, boss, I still think Lady and I made for each other laugh out loud. Well, you did always get on in my live streams, so who knows? There is an ocean between you, but who knows? So what's everybody's plans for the weekend? Is everybody trying to stay busy and focused? I realise that there are lockdown restrictions around the world, different levels you might say, but does anybody have any nice plans? Lady Shantae smiled at Inserter's now deleted comment. Netflix and chill. You know, why not? The key is to staying chilled and relaxed. JJ said, hello JJ. Hey Vincent, I like your videos. Thank you JJ, I really appreciate that. What part of the world are you from, JJ? What continent are you from? And Sergio said, boss, I still think Lady and I made for each other. Oh, you've repeated now what you put. Shauna said, I have a few dates. I'm trying to put myself back out there. That's brilliant, Sean. That's amazing. Keep going, keep going. And Sergio said, Lady, you are loved. JJ said, Montana, USA. It's great to have people from all over the world. There seems to be, I believe, more people in here right now from the US than in Europe, I would have said. Especially if we've got somebody from Mexico, so the North American contingent are here. There's a lot of North Americans here, which is wonderful. Always try and look on the bright side of life, okay? It's the lyrics to a song, but it's very, very true as well. Lady said, Vincent, my job is offering overtime, so going to work. I plan to also work out and go out for a little bit. That sounds fantastic, lady. Good for you. And Kido's from India. Wow, so we've now got people from Asia in the stream as well. Have we got any other continents represented? Inserter said, my youngest is coming to stay for the weekend. That's brilliant, Inserter. Remember, in your position, and anybody else who has children, who has gone through a breakup, the key is to be the best parent you can be. Be the best dad you can be the best mum you can be. Focus on being that person. Okay? When you have time with your children, try your hardest to put your breakup at the back of your mind. Just concentrate on your kids. Be the best parent you can be. It's great to see so many people in here at this time of day. Wonderful to have some people from when I used to do it at this time, over a year ago now, as well as new people as well, like JJ. JJ said, Vincent, I would like to believe that your no contact will work, but it's been over a year since I had a breakup with my ex. We were super close for 3 years. Well, thank you, JJ, and I'm very sorry to hear about your situation. The truth is, and I give the truth, I don't sugarcoat it, there is no 100% guaranteed way to get your ex back. And once you're over a year, the chances decrease further. That's the reality. So unfortunately, JJ, your chances of getting your ex back are less now than they were, say, 6 months ago. Now, this doesn't mean it's impossible. I know of numerous people who have got together with their exes years and years and years later. So, is it possible you can get your ex back after a year? Yes, it is absolutely possible. I mean, I remember people telling me in the chat, we're talking like decades even, ridiculously long periods of time. But when we're looking at statistics, I would say that after a year, it does start to decrease. So nothing works 100% of the time, nothing fails 100% of the time. So there's always a chance, but it can't be guaranteed, and it does lessen with time. That is why you must move forward with your life. You can't clock watch, you can't wait around, because there is no 100% guaranteed way to get your ex back. Whatever anybody says, nothing works all of the time. And Kido said, hey Vincent, what is your way of doing no contact? I mean, there is slight differences depending on the angle, but in essence, just to break it down really simply, without all of the caveats as well, is if you've been dumped, you should never contact your ex again unless they contact you first. Some people refer to this as permanent no contact without communication, but there's a lot more to it than that. There are different perspectives, different angles, different reasons why the rule might be broken, but that is the basics of it. JJ said, out of sight, out of mind. Absolutely. I can't forget her. She still beats in my heart and I miss her so much. But my point is, it seems silly to wait forever. What if she's out there missing me too, but afraid to email or message me? I mean, at this point, wouldn't she feel rejection big time? Again, you never know for certain what somebody is thinking. And what you've just said is absolutely possible in a unique instance. But all I can say is, all I base things on is my own research and my own statistics. So all I can say is that most dumpees who reach out to their dumpers do not reconcile with their ex. Does that mean that all dumpees who reach out fail? No, it doesn't. You will always get the odd one or two. You will always get people who are exceptions to the rule. But all I can do is advise on generalized rules. I can just try to suggest the best chance of success you have. So, JJ, could you reach out to your ex and find success? Absolutely, it could happen. But let me put it this way. if 1,000 people was in your position and did the same thing, I would suggest that less than 50 would actually find success. We're talking small percentages. We're talking 5% or less probably of dumpies reaching out to their dumpers then getting them back. So that's why I can't suggest it. But could it work? It could work. Inserter said, boss, does no contact work on women? I believe the no contact rule, when applied appropriately and properly, works on everybody to the respect of it will grow intrigue and wonder. It can also work in a platonic sense. It could work on your friends, you know, in its own different way. Jason is here. Hi, Jason. Great to have you in here. Enjoy the time you spent with your significant other. Improve your life, focusing on your purpose. Great advice, Jason. Absolutely wonderful advice. JJ said, if I still love her, shouldn't I reach out to ask how she's doing at some point? Again, I'm not going to say that's not going to work, because in a handful of instances it will work. But what I can say is that in most instances it won't work. If you've been dumped, then your ex is saying to you, I believe that my life will be more fulfilled away from you. That is in essence what a dumper is saying. They believe their life will go in a direction that they believe is more fulfilling outside of a relationship. When dumpies reach out to dumpers, there are 3 possible options of what could happen. 1, they get ignored. That's a negative. 2, they get a response, but what they don't realise is that it's through pity. You know, sometimes the dumper will respond positively. The dumpy gets really excited, but sadly, it doesn't go anywhere because the response was actually out of pity. It was out of respect. It was out of politeness. And it's very hard to tell the difference between that initially. And option 3 is genuine positivity and something which can lead further. So there's 3 possibilities of what happens. 2 of them are negative off the bat, and 1 of them there is a chance of growing. But unfortunately, that 1 out of 3 possibility, those possibilities aren't evenly spread. I suggest that 1 possibility of success out of 3 options is actually, there's probably only a 5% chance of that particular option being the one used. Inserter said, I moved 9 times since we broke up in May 2020. Wow, that is a lot of miles, Inserter. JJ said, damn, I guess I'll just let her go, even though I know that I'm always going to wonder what if. And if she's going to be the one who got away. I should know that if 95% chance wouldn't happen, she rejected me, that I'd crumble to be devastated over again. See, this is why it has to be down to the individual. I can't tell you what to do because I don't know, and nobody does. When you get these other coaches who claim to know what's going to happen, they don't know what's going to happen. So all I can do is base it on my own research and statistics. That's all I can do. And I can just tell you that roughly 95% of dumpees who reach out to dumpers do not reconcile. So could you be in that 5%, JJ? You could be. Okay? But Inserter, and I hope Inserter doesn't mind me saying this, but Inserter reached out to his ex a number of months ago, and unfortunately, they are now divorced. And I hope Inserter doesn't mind me saying this. We've spoken about this publicly before. But Inserter's relationship had ended. He reached out to his ex, and unfortunately, they've recently now got divorced. So in that respect, sadly, Inserter is now one of those statistics that I speak of. And Eco said, can ex wishing us on our birthday, happy birthday, a form of reaching out? If this happens, then what should be done? I do believe that this is an opportunity to reply positively and then ask them a question and try and grow a conversation. Could it just be a platonic breadcrumb? It could be. But there's also an opportunity to try and grow something and just see. Because they've taken a step. They've taken time out of their day to wish you happy birthday when they didn't have to. Jason has said, JJ, she has to reach out to you. This can't be a one-way street. True love doesn't work like that. Yeah, I mean, it's true. If somebody ends a relationship, then they've got to showcase something to suggest that they might want to build something again. JJ said, yeah, I'm sure that everyone feels that their relationship was super special. Of course, and here's the thing. Your relationships were super special. Everybody that got into a romantic relationship was special. A breakup does not devalue the relationship you had. It was special, it was real, it was true. Unfortunately, one or both people lose romantic emotional attraction, and the way they feel now is not the way they felt before. But that also means it's not necessarily the way they will feel later, and that's the beauty of it. The way they felt before was that they loved you, they wanted to be romantic with you. The way they feel now is that they don't feel romantic towards you, and the way they feel in the future is unknown. That's the beauty of it. JJ said, is there any way to plant a seed but might spark her to remember me and reach out to me? I don't know. Well, the beauty of this for you, JJ, is that you have the power of your life experience together, because you would have created many, many triggers. Your favourite film, your favourite song, favourite locations you visited with each other, favourite food you ate, favourite smell, aftershave, cologne, those kind of things. All of those will work in your favour. And every time you see, hear, visit or smell something that reminds you of your ex will feel those triggers as well. And hopefully that is something which can help everybody listening. Now, it's been wonderful speaking with you all, and I do apologise for having to leave quite suddenly. But I've just realised the time and I must go. And it's been wonderful speaking to you all and reconnecting with some people I haven't spoken to in a while. Please all remember that with or without your ex, you will have a positive future. Keep moving forward, be positive, and you will either get your ex back or you will find somebody even better, because you will grow your attraction net and you will find happiness. I have to go for now, and I really appreciate you being in here. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and I will do another live stream soon, hopefully. Thank you all, and goodbye.